So take this practice very consciously and finding a place to gently sit and align yourself that there is nothing to fix in you. So everyone is selling this fixing you. But just think that you're going to work with the mechanism that you have and you're becoming, using your mind as a tool, not used by the tool. Now start taking a deep breath and feel your feet. Now very gently, while I'm taking you through this meditation, I'm going to move the camera towards Darren. So now take a deep breath and start feeling your left and right feet. Feeling it. Very gently, you're grounding the space that you call feet, not by the memory visiting there, but bringing that aliveness of the present moment into the space of the left foot and the right foot. Whatever it is coming up for you, try not to identify by it. Now very gently bring that energy towards the ankles. Gently breathing. Onto the space of the knees and the back of the knees that you call knees. Taking that deep breath and coming into the space of the hips. Just gently see what are the sensations, energies that are present in this very moment in the space of the hips. Not bringing the old memory back, not about the hip and the pain of the hip or the pleasure of the hip. Very gently bringing into the space of the spine, from the tailbone to the back of the neck, back of the head, into the crown. Now take a deep breath to feel the space of those hands, left and right, feeling that sensation of that space. Wrist. Observe that space and expand to fill that space of what you are inquiring. Go into so many levels of you found the place. Magnify the space. Put it under the microscopic energy of the space. Very gently bringing into your space of the heart. If you feel no specific emotion, but rather a general mood of being. Attention placed on the region of the heart. Now very gently bring a visualization of a white light and let it expand to fill your whole chest, to expand it up to your throat, head, up to the crown of your head. Take these few minutes. Now let that white light expand up to the crown, downwards, filling the abdomen, extending down to the legs. Finally, out through the soles of your feet into the earth. Intention here is to discharge any sticky emotions that are sticking as a victim, as an ego. Let this your realization, the message gets through to every cell and every corner of your awareness. Remember that what you're holding as your pain, the world is wrong, finance is my problem, the relationship to my health is the problem. All these emotions love to be discharged. This is in their nature. So they will leave you if you're creating this path for them to release. It's your choice whether to let them discharge or to harbor reasons to hold on to your story. The reasons are always ego-based. I want to feel justified in holding grudges. I'm very good at nursing my grievances and fantasizing about revenge. Imagine so far that you have depleted the life by doing this. Your true self has no such an agenda. Now, I do understand today or tomorrow you will go off an emotional roller coaster or see someone else going off on. You will notice that the ego derives a kind of self-righteousness, agreeing the pleasure of displaying that stored anger, supporting that person, that you might again pulled into that victimhood, collective unconscious level of the victimhood. Now pay some attention to discharging those old emotions. And sincerely that they're no longer serving you. Now very gently, I want you to recognize in this practice the signs that you're awakening. It could be that you're aware of the breath. It could be aware of the old costume wants to come back to you. Aware of you're still holding on to a toxic emotion. Somehow believing mistakenly that it is you. Or somehow believing in holding it is going to bring you comfort. Shoulders relax and open up the chest. Take that deep breath to expand your awareness into the next level of the practice. Shoulders relax. Palms onto the Namaskar position. That very gently you have discovered the secret to the life. Waking up from that space of the ego, the dream, the illusion, like the money, the status, the ability to dictate others. Now taking a deep breath and chanting a single Om to vibrate the truth of the practice that you were awakening into every cell, a gentle Om. Take a deep breath in. Om. the indication of that you awaken. Take a deep breath in and twisting the spine to the left, stomach pulled in. Out breath, gaining the wisdom of the truth. Living from that space of the truth. Take that deep breath as you're breathing into that space of God, closer to your source of total consciousness. Not about this or that or the name or the color or the story or the memory. Breathing in back to the center. Change the formation of the legs. Space is very important naturally, aligning with the level of consciousness. Take a deep breath in and twisting the spine very gently onto the right side, stomach very gently pulling in, expanding the space of the shoulders, expanding into the space of the challenge. Very gently see the answer of this body, the mind, the answer of this space. Breathing back to the center. Very gently stretch the neck to the right side. Very gently releasing and coming into a habit that you are constantly have not realized. Breathing in back into the center, onto the other side. Breathing in back into the center. Take a deep breath in, shoulders roll back, shrug the shoulders by breathing in up and roll back, releasing the tension of that backpack that you're carrying from your parents, the grandparents, from the lineage, I come from this family, I come from this, that. A lot of Eastern culture has this more than the Western culture. Now very gently take a deep breath in, shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back, massage your skull, releasing the tension of the back of the neck, the frustration. Open and close the mouth while you're shrugging up, releasing the tension of the jaw. Breathe out, chin to the chest and completely collapse the spine onto a seating cat. Very gently. There is observing that you are not using any thoughts to guide you. Breathing in, roll the shoulders back, push the belly into the front and release that resistance that you're holding onto the life. Into the cow. Breathe out, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock into the cat. Breathing in, shoulders roll back, push the belly into the front. Tongue roll up onto the upper palate, pay great attention. Relax into a neutral spine. Now very gently take a deep breath in. Stretch the left leg into the back, opening up the right hip. Shoulders relax, chest open. Now take a deep breath in, shoulders roll back, opening up that chest. Elevate that space of the heart, Breath out, drop the elbows onto the floor, and third eye, sit on the fist. Very gently coming into the understanding the nature of the consciousness of the breath, nature of the consciousness of the body, nature of the consciousness of the mind, without anchoring into anything. Consciousness is in total. So the ocean can get stormy, but no matter how turbulent the thoughts are or the waves are, it isn't resisting itself. It is simply going through a new stage of life. Stormy instead of calm. Doesn't matter. It's not that life has to be calm. Consciousness gives rise to all kinds of thoughts. Take a deep breath in, gently coming back. So if you're thinking about the practice is going to make your life easy, it's going to make your life easy because you're not going to be pushed and pulled by it. It doesn't mean that the moods of the oceans are not changing. Very gently into a plank, stronger on the pelvic floor. Drop the knees and stretch the spine into the back, completely breathing out, releasing and using the opportunity and the struggle or whatever giving in as a learning to learn more about you. There is no patterns of behavior that suits all situations. Education might be saying that if you have this pill, this will work. If you have this, but it's not. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest onto the floor. And take that next breath in, drop the belly, breathing in into an up face. Just pull yourself out of the wall into the space of the deeper vision. Breathe out towards the down face. Head down, neck down, releasing that tension in its own nature. Consciousness is orderly and organized. It unfolds its energy along the line of least effort. Now very gently, left foot into the front, onto the pigeon pose. Shoulders roll back, opening up that chest. Lift up the space of the heart. Drop the elbows very gently, dropping the third eye onto the fist. Just take this moment that the nature has a whole way of working through the laws of motion. Breath, the heat, the gravity, and so on. And there is no obstacle if you're moving through that space of the nature, the least effort isn't just efficient. It is the most powerful way to realize this truth. Breathing in very gently, coming back, opening up that chest, releasing the tension that you are rounding obstacles as swiftly as possible. And using this as your teaching into a plank, drop the knees, stretch the spine. Now very gently coming into that space of understanding that you are making adjustment to the body, adjustment to the breath as a choice to be in line with least effort. So whatever is coming to the life, relax, center yourself, and letting your deeper awareness to respond to you rather than your surface reacting onto it. It gives that deeper level of awareness to prefer to bring about the right result with the least effort. Don't act impulsively. Observe yourself when you're acting impulsively, talking impulsively. Whether it's into your relationship, whether it's into your health, whether it's to the finance. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest onto the floor. Take a deep breath in and coming into a gentle cobra, opening up that chest. Ask yourself if the path of the least resistance is open to you. If so, take it. Why you're fighting constantly with your problems? Learn allow to let go more often instead of insisting and trying to make control of things. Because you have been taught to have control of everything. Overlooking onto the left side. Breathing in back to the center, overlooking onto the right side. Breathing in back to the center. Shoulders relaxed and chest open. Now very gently surrender your third eye onto the floor. Open up your armpits a bit more. Shoulders relaxed. Now, part of your mind might say, oh, this is lazy, this is the main reason that we haven't already adopted the least effort as a part of consciousness. Don't allow your self-empowerment comes through social conditioning. Fighting, winning at all cost. Even you could see in separation, people bring this kind of energy. Vanquishing something that is opposite to you. And you might think that the consciousness is showing you a better way. Because you're doing it here and now, having the least effort. And you need to remember that. The power is when you have the depth of awareness. Now very gently take a deep breath in Relax the hips onto the floor a little bit more. Shoulders relax and chest open. Palms onto the chest level, breathing into an up phase. Breathe out towards the down phase. Shoulders relax and chest open, and your head down and your neck down, and you're bending your knees to release in the tension and allow the practice to transformation into that space of well-being. They're bringing that change from that victim to realization, a positive change in your body, in your mental outlook, in your decision making. Now take a deep breath in, lifting up onto the toes, push down the heels, releasing the tension. Take a deep breath in and left leg up into the back. Left knee to the left chest, breathe out, come into the stretch back. Left knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee to the right elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Give a good rotation to the left foot and release in the tension of the shackling, conditioning, and left foot into the front. Very gently, arms stretch into the back, interlacing the fingers, releasing the tension as much as possible. Shoulders roll back, back of the head lift up a little bit. Arms very gently raise back to the crown. Now take a deep breath in, palms onto the Namaskar position, centering your hips. And very gently coming into that space of the least effect. So when you consciously change into this place, the picture that you see is also changing. Now take a deep breath in and turning into the right, opening up onto the Virabhadrasana. Take a gentle mudra on the left to remind you about your center, that something outside is not pulling you anymore. You know yourself enough to realize how you would probably react into certain things. That is awareness. It's not about not reacting. You know where you're going to react. So yet your self-knowledge is in the case, is actually about limitation, but you come into that space that it's no longer limiting you. So you're not giving into that reaction. Now you can even recognize the people who are coming from this place of strong egos. Gentle arch. It's not about talking about them, also having that compassion to understand that their realization. But it is not your thing to change them. Everyone has a divine time to change it. You may be realizing it early stage of your life. Coming back into the center. Take a deep breath in, elbow onto the knee. Very gently, right arm rolls back and holding onto the sacrum. And this is a great way rather than stretching the arms, but if you feel like to stretch them, it is, you can deep down go into that space of opening up and creating a connection to the disconnection by creating that source of energy. Once you have understood how the consciousness works, you can navigate your life very gently. Now take a deep breath in and stretching that right arm, even taking a mudra. Now take a moment to reflect on the last important decision you made. It can be anything. Buying something new, changing the job, but you have decided to speak up on an issue, offer advice to a friend or family member. Just observe. I'm not telling you whether you have taken right or wrong. I'm just telling you to observe that right reaching into the front, touch the floor. If the consciousness came into the place, you may have found yourself in one of the following places: that you have taken the right decision and it leaves resistance, it's helped you. And you're confident in yourself that you made the right choice. Left arm reaching into the front, up to the ceiling. And you didn't have a second thought to think about the decision. Left arm reaching into the back, touch the floor. Now very gently, we may today drop the arms onto the right side. And if you can, warm up the hips and the spine a little bit by pushing into the front and into the back a little bit. And very gently see whether you even drop the elbows if you can, otherwise just staying in that place. If you have a bolster, you can accommodate that. If the elbows are the best position for you. Now let's say that decision you took is still a doubtful. You weren't sure about the outcome. Would it be what you wanted, or you were prone to worry and second thoughts? We are going to leave you there in that space. Now very gently coming back. Shoulders relax and just open. You have warmed up your feet, knees and hips. Now very gently into a plank. Stronger. Breathe out towards a down face. Breathing in into a plank. Left knee onto the floor. Now very gently take a deep breath in, right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench, shoulders relax, just open. Bring that awareness. Find the least resistance to enter into that space. Right reaching into the back and touch the floor. Drop the knees. Completely breathe out to a gentle cat. Breathing into a gentle cow. Breathe out. Anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Breathing in. Tongue roll up onto the upper palate. Into a neutral spine, breathing in. Give a good rotation to the hips. Wider rotation, releasing the tension. Falling back into the space of the truth. Falling back into the space of the direction, certainty, purpose, depth of understanding. Onto the other side. Coming back, breathe out to the cat. Breathing in into a neutral spine. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench. Tuck the arm under the elbow, under the armpit. Dropping Find a way that you can stretch the right arm. If you want to soften the hips, drop the hips right back. It's not about finding the success of each outcome. How do you react into things in life? How do you experience that space of skepticism or other energies? Do you always react from your ego? Be careful with that viewpoint. Stepping off this place of victimhood, which is the ego. It have no conception of what this means for people in the practice. People think still the yoga is in the physicality. Pure consciousness is coming now as no identity or no I or no me, no self. It has no ties to memories, habits, or education or condition. Because it's only work on the present moment. So it's like almost you're pulling back into the drawing board without the drawing. Remember, your ego only lives if it has memory. And if you're feeding that memory and you're constantly locating that memory, constantly praise, constantly or opposite to praising, gently coming out, breathe out to a gentle cat. Breathing into a gentle cow. Very gently breathe out, stretch the spine into the back. Palms facing up, really releasing the tension, allowing the body to relax. Very gently. Now you could see that you're not in the surface of the world, the mind being constantly active and restless. Now, in a practice, you have this moment of quiet ease, least resistance, peace. So your birthright is only given to you in the very moment. Ease and peace. What it disturbs is not out there. It's disturbed by your own ego. But most of the time, the moment there might be things that we have to think and do. So you have to come in from that space of ease. And when you condition the space of the mind, obviously mind will naturally wants to be in that space of ease. Inner calm doesn't have to have a success. It's nothing is going on. So when people have this, nothing is going on, they immediately seek for activity and distraction. I need to run, I need to eat, I need to talk, I need to release. Have you ever found yourself without the practice in those places? The jittery, agitation, loose ends. Suddenly you jump up and want to eat something from the fridge. Open the fridge door many times, even you know what it is. Or going through Instagram, surfing, whatever the technology you use. So you are taking a break from all that jittery and loose end now. Palms facing down when you come into this realization, onto the down face. Take the posture in a more expanded way than the ego and its alignment. Right leg up into the back, give a good rotation to the right foot, right knee to the right chest on a breath out. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the right elbow. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, right foot into the front. A foot that free from conditioning. Entire the mind and the body is here without the separation. Arms stretch into the back, lace in the fingers. Arms rest onto the crown. Comes onto the namaskar position, coming into that space of total consciousness. The total consciousness is supported by a breath, supported by a body. Examine your life very gently. In a level of consciousness, this is the test that you should take before anything, brushing your teeth. That you are conscious. Then you're doing everything for the day. Turn to the left and opening up onto the Virabhadrasana. Take a mudra that is lighting up with this consciousness. And it offers everything to you and everything to everyone. It's like the truth of being alive. Gentle arch. Breathing in gently, coming back. Elbow onto the knee. Left arm reaching into the sacrum and opening up the elbows. And when you're ready, you can stretch that left arm up. Left reaching into the front and touch the floor. Gently right arm reaching up to the ceiling, clenching on. Right reaching into the back, touch the floor. Dropping the arm onto the left side. Dropping that knee onto the floor. Very gently warming the hips, warming the spine, beckoning to the front. See what is that unconsciously holding. Drop the elbows and very gently coming into that space of opening. Lose the situation as a part of something more intelligent than you. Whether it's the difficulty of the rain or the sun or the heat or the take a deep breath in, very gently coming back into a plank, stronger on the pelvic floor. Drop the knees completely, breathe out to a gentle cat. Breathing in into a gentle cow. Shoulders roll back, elbows pointing back. Neutral spine. Very gently into a neutral spine. So not hunching, not dropping, back of the head aligned. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and not clench, breathe. Right arm reaching under the left armpit. Very gently, shoulders relax, just open. Drop the buttocks if you want to. Otherwise, staying in this space and opening up, that's tightness on the back. Very gently taking this moment to embrace the truth of you without the separation that you're talking about the other. Your obstacles comes when you're separated. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Breathe out to a gentle cat. Give a good rotation to a neutral spine and work your hips, releasing the tension. Now, this moment is a good realization that there's no inside, no outside, even that you think that you have to go in to find consciousness. The totality of the consciousness governs creation without regards for any boundaries. This is the invisible level of structure. Onto the other side. Stretch the spine into the back as all embracing. Your disturbance also can disturb child pose. Crown of the head onto the floor, lifting up the buttocks and activate the space of the third eye, the pressure point. Now very gently relax back and waking up the third eye by keeping the fist on the third eye. Do us a favor, because if you guys are not settled, the world that you are living is also not in settlement. There's an invisible current of consciousness moving. Our anger can also react to the heat. You're responsible for your energy, because your energy also can have effects on the nature of others, not as people. Now wake up that spine one vertebra at a time when you have grasped that consciousness in total. You don't have to find yourself to create another self. You just dropped into the space without a name, without identity, without anything. The experience of oneness. Almost like the center of the creation, when you're totally awake. Oneness of that awakening is constantly appearing through the mind and the body together. What you have to remain is in its totality. Palms onto the namaskar position and taking the vow of that you are enjoying the present state of your being where you are. And you're accepting yourself without any separation and judgment. You're supported by this infinite space, by this space of nature. And the life is, if you don't interfere, it's smooth. Your desire will be given to you by this truth, not by effort. Because you're enjoying being here, you have to come into that place of realization that you're enjoying being here at this very moment, not somewhere else from this moment. Arms raised onto the crown, cleansing the space and the aura through that realization. Touch the earth, respect for the space that you're taking temporary refuge. The body and the mind that you're serving your consciousness into the higher purpose. The difficulty that you have is a difficulty of separation, not another person. Gently coming out of that space, palms onto the Namaskar position. Namaste.